Hello, everyone. I am Tashtari, and this is my internet television program, returning after a hiatus of almost 3 months to the day. Um, First things first, firsties, go to Brant Gerga. Hey, Brant Gerga, and hey, M. Moritz, and hey, Bishop. Welcome, 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 welcome. Let's see. So, second thing second. Like I said, my last stream was the end of July, quite some time ago. I kind of, I don't know, ran out of gas or something like that. I don't know. Then later, I probably had something to do with the fact that every mouse that I tried with my Steam Deck didn't work properly. But I have a new mouse, a new mouse that came from Dell, one of those ones that you wouldn't pay $5 for new, which means I'm sure that it's going to work absolutely perfectly. Then later there were some OBS problems, which hopefully have gotten resolved by now. They certainly seem to have. Like, I am no longer seeing black screens every time that I try to make it display something. And I felt like giving streaming another try and giving Riven another shot. I was enjoying it. It was very pretty. It was very interesting to play the game through in a way that you know allowed me to keep my existing familiarity with the story and the environment, but reset all of the puzzles in my brain. If somebody would do that with Return of the Obra Dinn, I would just be over the moon. But I don't expect that. At least not for another, 25 years or whatever it was since Obra Dinn came out, like Riven came out. Also, I am currently at 41 followers, which is just too close to the threshold of 50 to get affiliate status for me to entirely give up without going for that one more time. So here I am, and let's get started. So here I am, and let's get started. Dum-de-dum. This is authentic to the Steam Deck experience. If anybody was thinking about buying one, I don't think it's a bad experience. Honestly, it's just that it's in an interesting place as far as performance goes. It seems to work fine once it gets started, but it is sluggish in interesting places. There we go. I really like the sort of new old Cyan remake, logo remake. I think that it's nice that they actually kept that instead of going with the slightly too happy one that they use with Mist. Okay. Load. So those seem to be in the same place. I have some notes that I took last time, and it's going to be sort of interesting placing them. I have a note that 9 makes ball glow. I'm not sure what that means, but maybe we'll find a ball and enter 9 somewhere in order to make it glow. I have a pattern of 5 dots in a 5x5 grid, which I think I got from Survey Island just before quitting, and I have icons for the various islands. How old are these notes? These notes are 3 months old, about. So, I mean, I think that they'll be relevant. Oh yes, I remember. In some way, they changed it so that in this version of the game, the domes lead you to a sort of a starfisher-like place that Gen has somehow set up for his experiments. And you can get from one to the other by spinning a ball, and you have to open. It's really quite interesting as an approach of doing the same but different thing. I'm trying to remember how you get them open. It's explicitly the starfisher. Yeah, that makes sense. It would be very somewhat worrying, I think, if Gen was able to create the starfisher, because one of the key points of this game is that Gen sucks at everything. Okay. We're also alarmingly close to a wark, which is hidden in the depths here somewhere, but I don't think you can die in this game, except in the ways that you could die in the previous game. Yeah, Riven in this game definitely seems a lot more broken apart than it was in the original. It's I think the thing I remember was that the bridge from Temple Island to what do you call it? To Bookmaking Island. Oh right, there's this thing. From Temple Island to Bookmaking Island was just kind of fell apart when you approached it. Which was kind of funny because I think that was a technical hurdle that the people in who were doing what do you call it? Starry Expanse, the sort of the real Riven project that preceded the remake. There we go. Because the bridge is just a lot longer than it has any than it looks like it is. And I think that was presenting some technical challenges for them. So maybe they were mad at it and wanted to take their revenge on it by making it collapse. Crater Island, fair enough. You have to remember that my IQ drops in half whenever I'm on stream. There were VR issues. Yeah, I can believe that. Okay, we're waiting. Stay hydrated. Fair enough. Problem is, if I lean my head back, my headphones fall off, because I was adamant that I was not going to pay anything to be a streamer. So all of my equipment is old and crappy. Except for my video capture device, which cost me $30. Okay, so I've already lowered this bridge. And I think that from here, the only other bridge that I don't know if there was another bridge that I lowered. So the only thing you paid for was a mic. See, that's the way to do it. I actually bought a mic years ago that from Monoprice, proudly branded Monoprice, which is, it's Chinese junk, but it's vetted Chinese junk. So it's a little bit of a cut above. Oh yes, and then there's this thing, which I can't figure out what it's for. You can turn this, and it drops a ball into a place. And that does what? Causes some stars to go by. Ooh. That's like a result. Did I do something? I mean, did I do something permanent, I guess is the real question. Well, I guess we can see if I can repeat it. No, I can't. Okay, so whatever I did just then must have been the right thing to do, because I can't pull this handle anymore. Interesting. Okay. So we've come here, we've opened the bridge, and we've cast the laser, or however you think of that. So let's get on out of here and go somewhere else. It's sort of not as satisfying, this version, on account of you just have to wait for the dome to open or close on you. You can't push a button and be immediately satisfied by its mechanical reaction. Okay, so we know we have that. Let me mark that on the old notes page here. That Survey Island's bridge is now open. Notes page cam when? You know, I possibly could set up something like that. I have an old webcam laying around. You're mixed because you love some part of this game more and some parts of 97 more. Yeah, that's kind of where I expect to find myself once I finish this. But it is getting difficult to find people playing the old game, so I'm gonna have to finish this one so that I can start watching. I have this pattern in my notes as well. This that I got by sliding these pieces around. So that seems to be a solved puzzle as well. And oh, wait a second. I didn't see this before. All right. We're going down, down, and forwards. And more down. Okay, well, this is new. And by new, I mean this is old. This is, you feel like the ultimate version of this game for you would involve the 97 marble puzzle and the 24 totem puzzle. Well, I'm looking forward to experiencing the totem puzzle. It sounds like it will be a time. Okay, so there's the thing that we can use to view Catherine. And there's more choices now because we can view the what do you call it, island cage, the temple island cage. Ooh, there's a guard there. What's he doing? He's practicing. That's cute. More Catherine. He's doing Tai Chi. That seems as likely as anything else. Let's see, where is this? Can we turn? Oh, we can turn it. Okay, so this is Crater Island. Okay, that's the maglev station on Crater Island. What's this one? This is... Ah, this is the village island. I think I've been to the village island, but I don't know if I've been to its dome yet. And the bottom one is... this island, is Survey Island. Because we're looking at that sword and the cool looking pattern thing there. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Let's try the other one. Okay, this looks familiar. Okay. I should know these from playing original Riven, but I have forgotten, so I'm going to write that down. That's blue. That's green. That's yellow. That's the one we don't use, at least in the original version. Hey, Jan. Welcome, welcome. Okay. That's orange. We'll come to that one last. This one is burned out, but we know from experience that that's purple. Or we think that it is. And then finally, this is Call the Shark. Call the Wark, rather. Looks a little more dangerous in this version than it did in 97. Why is it so 90s? Well, you can take the game out of the 90s, but you can't take the 90s out of the game. Am I right, guys? I could keep pushing the call button and see if it gets mad and rams the window, but it might break and kill me, which is something I would not put past this remake from what I have seen so far. It seems to want to surprise and upset you. One thing I will never stop making fun of about the Myst series is the elevators. Like, they get to a new Tashtari is actually pronounced coward. Your mom. Will I stop at Midway Landing on this elevator? I don't think so. I don't see a middle button, a la the Mechanical Age of Myst. But... anyway, so elevators. Like, you get to a new place, and the first thing you build to get to a new plane of vertical existence is not a ladder or some stairs. No, it's an elevator. Much more complex, requires a power source, is a lot more prone to failures. But what do you care? You build an elevator. We haven't been to the mysterious porta potty looking thing yet. I wonder if I can just get there by turning the maglev around like I can in the original version. Let's find out. They build the ladder, then remove it when the lift is built. Duh. Right, my mistake. Cool. So that puzzle solution hasn't changed, at least. Though, this is probably going to be locked or something. Nope. Nope, nope. So far, so good. So let's get to the cyan showing off part of the adventure. If the Pope had to use a porta-john, it would look like this. Porta-john Paul 2. Very good. So where does this take us now that we know that Gen's survey room with the work is somewhere else? I guess we're about to find out. Dear Internet God, thank you for connecting me to these hilarious people. You flatter me. And others, but also me. Ooh. I can just barely see the person running off in the distance there. Ah, so the... Okay, so like before, they take the maglev and just run off. They're not waiting around the corner to clock or something. Can I hammer the button and bring it back with them still inside? No, I cannot. Shoot. There we go. I like how they made the fire marbles flash in this version. Like the DC Metro or something like that. What is that that's floating in the water there? Is that another tram line that just kind of sunk? You want these lights for your garage? Yeah, me too, honestly. As long as you can sort of plow into them and they just bend over like they're on springs or something like that, because my garage is tiny. so this takes us to Jungle Island. Village Island, if you like. You believe you know what it is, but you're not saying. Fair enough. That brief pause was the machine internally changing the disk. Okay. This is different looking. Ah, this is the same looking. Complete with the scratch marks in the side so you know how far it can go up. And there we are inside the tiki mask, as some people call it, the work totem idol thing. But let's not be satisfied. Let's go further up. Oh, yes, it's a non-guana. I completely forgot about the non-guana. It's just been so long. Okay. Here's our zoetrope. Yay! Jen is here. We must use the correct terminology. Correct you are. And they're not fire marbles, they're glow balls. Right you are. I concede the point entirely. I am so happy that you made that emote, Jen, because I have used it in many an Obra Dinn stream. I don't usually use emotes on Twitch, but I pair that one with the well played emoji, so it looks like he's saying well played when somebody figures out who Hatman is. And then Brungo, another streamer that I watch on the regular, has one of George Shirley that I use when somebody gets him. It is excellent. I'm very happy with it. Okay. So here we are in the Starfisher. Where's the bridge control? Is it here and I just can't see it? Huh. I'm trying to remember now. There was some way to lower the bridge, but I have forgotten what it is. Maybe we have to go further down. There we go. Okay. So we've extended the bridge here, which means that we should be able to get there from other islands, but... Oh, right. And then we hit this thing to bring the thing around. So I'd play with this thing, but I know that I have now extended the bridge, and I don't need to go anywhere else at this point. So I will leave off of Gen's civilized mode of transportation, as he referred to it, until later. And get instead to the ball a laser shooty thingy, which I probably need to do at each of these locations. Load a marble. Get ready to shoot it. And fire. Okay, a thing may have happened. Did I say laser ball shooty thingy? Who am I? You? No, I am channeling the spirit of a Joss Whedon character of some kind. Okay, so we've done our thing here. Let's go see what they've done with Gen's most important throne. It does sound like something Gen would say. I concede that point. Boy, the English language is just losing it. I should have treated it better. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 8, Time of Your Life. Is Season 8 the one we watched at like double speed? I can't remember. Oh, okay, Season 8 is the comic. Okay, that explains why I don't remember that line. For those who don't know, Bishop and I were roommates in college, and we watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Oh, that's interesting. Have we been there before? And we watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer season to season to season. And the last one was a bit questionable in quality, so we watched the episodes at like 1.5 or 2x speed. Oh, there's no throne, just levers. Glitching levers. Season 6 is the one we watched mostly sped up. Maybe Season 7 too. Yeah, maybe it was both of them, or part of one and all of the other, or something. Okay, so that's still the same. Season 7 has Felicia Day. Did it? What's that big building over there? The one that looks sort of like a hive. Maybe that's like the chief's pod, or whatever you call these things. Season 7 also had the, what do you call them? The sort of Slayers, but not quite. And the one that everybody hated, Kennedy. Potentials, that's it. I am impressively bad at remembering words today. They have these alarm towers, but they don't use them, which is interesting. Okay, we can't walk around here. Day was Vi, one of the potentials. I think of Vi as more of a text editor myself. Let's go to the mouth of the beast. Right. Now, are they going to have Jump Scare Girl? That's the real question. Also important is, how do I get in here from outside? Because it doesn't look like there's a button hidden on the on these little lantern things here. And I know as soon as I walk away from this that it's going to close. It looks a lot more ominous than it did in 97. Maybe that's just because you can pick any viewing angle you want. Or maybe it just stays open? No, it couldn't. Closes when I look away. No. Hey, Brongo. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, there are no secret buttons here that I can see. Of course, if I could see them, it wouldn't be a secret. There's something on the side there? Has the gameplay been riveting? It's been pretty interesting. I've made a modest amount of progress, I think, in these first 37 minutes. Oh yes, I told them about your George Shirley emote, which I have actually used in other streams, which I think is a mark of quality and credibility. Because I never use emotes. That's the one. Nope, it's still open. Maybe it stays open. Okay. Alright, that's fine. Jump Scare Girl would have been around here somewhere, so maybe she's not in this version of the game. Ah, and this is that gate we were looking at earlier. It's custom made for me. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. This was not in Riven 97. I don't think. But yeah, they kind of... I seem to remember they got rid of the bathysphere. Jen, what did you call the bathysphere? I know it was something funny, but I can't remember what it was. Maybe there's something equivalent to the bathysphere? There must be some way of getting around, because there are things unconnected. Shower sphere. Yes, that was it, I'm sure. Oh, there's a drawbridge. That's interesting. It's probably not going to let me climb into the water. Even though I seem to be hovering over the water at the moment. Fish. I wonder if they'll be important. They certainly look like the new Riven logo. So maybe that'll be important once I get to the totem puzzle, whatever that is. The drums. I hear the drums echoing tonight, but I can't think of a way to make this song any more funny. Beatles. I've already done this, haven't I? Or have I? I think I might not have done. Let's go to Crater Island. Assuming that's where this takes us. Come on, automated minecart system. I haven't got all day. There we go. Oh, I don't get in it. I ride it. Non-stream related. Did I hear that Final Fantasy VII cut off over an hour of its speedrun? A new skip was demonstrated as possible on console yesterday. And the new route will finish the game with Eris in the party. That's cool. I did not hear that. What is the skip? What parts of the game did they skip? World map manipulation. As soon as you leave Midgar, you can go right to Icicle Inn. Hey, Eminem. Welcome, welcome. Actually, I think I have been here before. Only minecart game for a very short amount of time. Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not sure which. Because I did the did I do the boiler room thing? This is the problem with taking 3 months in between streams. Is that you don't remember whether you have done the boiler room thing again. Let's do the boiler room thing again, just in case I haven't done the boiler room thing once. Okay, so it's currently... Okay, that's the boiler room pipe. You saw a game like this once centuries ago. Was it called Riven? Because there was a game like this made centuries ago, which was also called Riven. But it had the subtitle, The Sequel to Myst, which this is and isn't. It was called Marvel's Midnight Suns. Not one I have heard of. Okay, I must have done this already because the boiler room has already been drained out and unpressurized and such like. Just as stupid like the protagonist says in combat. I can't parse the grammar of that sentence. Oh, just a stupid line the protagonist says. Fair enough. Okay. Let me direct the steam in this direction before I get back to exploring this area. Cornstarch and sugar. I agree, Bronco. Am I a candy corn enthusiast? I am a candy corn occasional enjoyer, I suppose. I mean, it's difficult to object to. There's not much in it that's, not to like. It's basically edible wax. There's a character in The Simpsons, the German exchange student, from back when it was okay to have caricatures of ethnicities be characters in a major television comedy. Who had a line that I really enjoyed, which was, "Would you like a bite of mein Flavorwax?" Is candy corn more or less polarizing than pineapple on pizza? 10 out of 10 impression. Thank you. Treehouse of Horror episode? I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Alright, now did I extend the bridge in this area? Let's find out. What's the symbol for this one? This is Crater Island, so it should be the vertical line. There we go. Doesn't Bart take a bite to get untied for some reason? It's possible. My recollection of The Simpsons has been somewhat damaged by not having seen it in, a decade? Gosh, I don't know. I stopped watching The Simpsons a long time ago, and even though I own the DVDs, I don't think I have ever inserted them in a DVD player. Lights just went out. There we go. Nobody is sharing their chat. I did not extend this bridge yet. Okay, so Crater Island is open. Oh, and Jungle Island is open. I don't know if I opened the dome on Temple Island, and I suspect that I didn't. But we'll go see at some future point. Treehouse of Horror the 4th, confirmed by the internets. Cool, cool. Terror at 5.5 feet. And let's shoot a golf ball at this thing now. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing when I do that, but it seems to be semi-permanent. So that's good, at least. I suspect that flash was not supposed to happen. Whoa. Gen is pretty tall. I wonder how he manages not to get his head removed when using these things. Is that a thing I can walk through? Is that a thing I can even look through? Does not look like it. Now, did I get in here enough to unlock the door? Yes, I did. Okay. But I don't know if I figured out the any of the items in here. Like, I don't know what this is for. Last week, one of my acolytes caught a rebel sniffing around the cemetery totem in the jungle. In keeping with the general ineptitude of my men, the dog was allowed to escape, but at least the fool had the presence of mind to bring me the object in question. It is a primitive eyepiece into which one of the native numbers has been set. Given the fact that their accursed numeric system requires you to know which way a symbol has been rotated in order to read it, however, there is no way to make sense of it. It is probably an overestimation of the moiety's intelligence to suspect that there may be some greater meaning behind it, but tomorrow I shall send a surveyor out to inspect the other totems just to be safe. Right. I remember now. There is another number system in this game, apparently orientation dependent, that's used by the natives. Ah, right, and this is the thing where if you set it to 9, the ball glows. Somehow. There we go. Ding, ding, ding. but that absorbs the charge and puts it somewhere else. Or maybe it's like an upside-down candle snuffer. Did I just throw that in the garbage? That seems unlike me. Now, what am I doing there? What are these pieces of paper? The counterintuitive aspect of fire marbles, that a quarter strike force does not always yield the maximum energy output. Sorry, that a greater strike force does not always yield the maximum energy output. Never ceases to amaze me. Optimal strike force, base value, scratched out. Okay, I had to right-click to put that down. Fire marble to power marble. Strike force compensations. Okay, well, I know Dunny numerals, so I can figure out what these mean. So vertical eye, which means prison island, is plus 12. Minus sign, which is orange, and survey island is minus 4. Minus 4, yeah. Jungle Island, or red, is minus 6. Crater Island, or purple, is plus 14. And Temple Island, or green, is plus 9. Okay, so the fact that I got this one to glow at 9 means maybe it's just coincidence. Maybe it'll work if I put in another one of those numbers. So let's see, what about 12? 12. Some glow, but not enough. No, 9 seems like it's some kind of a magic number. 9 is a magic number. Yes, it is. So now that I've gotten it to glow, what do I do with that information? That I do not know. I can't take it out. All I can do is snuff it out like that. Okay. So maybe that's what he had scratched out, is, you know, that I meant to figure out, that that's the base value of the strike force. So I'll write that down. Optimal strike force base value. Okay. I do apologize for not having a notes cam. That is something that I should look at setting up for games like this. I didn't need it for Outer Wilds, because the game took notes for me, which was awfully nice of it. But for this game, it might make sense. I think I already read this book, but I don't remember its contents very well. But I don't want to take up too much of the session by reading, so we'll leave that alone for the moment. This mentions this eyepiece thing that one of the natives was looking over. But I can't do anything with it other than peer into it and not apparently see anything useful in it. What are these coins about? Moth, 5-pointed flower, again would like that. Pancake, 5-pointed starfishes and things. A blue page. No, I'm kidding, it's a leaf. That'll be the hedophobic water demonstration. Thermophobic, that's the word that I was groping for. Now, what can I do with this thing apart from peer at it quizzically? Are there any buttons on it? There's a lot of gears. Ah, levers, okay. Button. Who's got the button? Okay, that starts the wheel turning. This does what exactly? Is that just dripping water onto a fire marble? With no apparent effect. Oh, that speeds the wheel up. And more. And more. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is this still going faster? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Is this still going faster, or is it my imagination? Okay, so this is some kind of a clutch that engages this grinder or whatever. But nothing appears to stop the wheel. Put your dick in it. Wait a minute. Is it glowing? It does look like it's glowing. Now, is its glow being stifled by the water, or is it being caused by the water? It doesn't look clear to me. The apparent point is that you need to polish fire marbles in order to do something with them. No, let's leave this machine running just to piss Gen off. You're supposed to put something in there? You're supposed to put a fire marble in there? How, though? It doesn't let me pick one up. Does it? I take one of these. Nope. Oh, that's right. I think that there was some place around here where you were able to pick up fire marbles. These look like the discarded casings that they come in. Huh. Did I already do this? I think I must have. Yeah, this game does not seem very friendly to the idea that you may have played it several months ago and forgotten what you had done in it and what you hadn't. That's a little bit, that's a little bit annoying. What did I just turn off? And this takes us back up to someplace else on Crater Island? Question mark? Ah, right. Okay, this takes us back to the Trixie double doors. Well, I think I'll head back to Jungle Island, because there's definitely more to explore there. There's some way to get to the Warp Gallows, and I don't know what it is. I was saying before that Outer Wilds was Have I Been Here Before the game, but maybe that's just everything, and I can't remember for the life of me. Here we go. Mist isn't famous for its for its elevators. It's famous for its roller coasters, especially Mist 4. But never mind. Okay, and we're back. All the moths. Good grief, look at them. Now, have I been here before? Probably. Have I been here recently? Probably not. Oh, yes I have. This is that other gate into the jungle area. Look at that, it's still open. Maybe it only opens from the inside and it just stays open. It is most unlike doors in the Myst franchise to stay open. In Riven 97, that's supposed to be one of the things that clues you into the door puzzle, if you like. The giant pizza cutter. These guys you're supposed to approach slowly. You're turning in for the night. All right. Good night, Bishop. Have a good night. I guess that teaches us what noise they make. But it, Now, have I been this way before, is what I wonder. Because this is how you get to the bathysphere in Riven 97. Okay, so this is the... This is like the thing that I saw in Gen's laboratory. We can turn it all about. It has 12 nails in it. And it seems we're not supposed to look in the other ones, or else I'd be able to walk forward here, and I cannot. Yeah. Okay. Don't know. Except that that's some sort of very special tree. Here's the village's communal stove. Pretty lights. And another entry point to what looks like the bathysphere system, but isn't the bathysphere system. Right, this is the school, where there's some mention made of the, villager's number system. That's a number 17 times 25 plus 20. I'll come back to that. Pentagonal Kiwi. Yep, everything has to be 5 in Gen's worlds. It's very important to him. Right, so this is a translation guide between Dunny numerals and Rivenese numerals of some kind. We were told by Gen that orientation is important. Oh. Now that I think about it, that thing with the 12 nails around it in the in that totem thing. That looked sort of like one of those radial things. I wonder if that ends up being important. All I know is my gut says maybe. So 1, 10, 8, 5, 3, and 6. It's a random assortment of numerals. Huh. Okay. So, presumably a dot in the center without anything around it is 0. I don't know if that helps us any, but it's probably true. So 1 is upright. Maybe 2 is down? Because 2 and 3 here make 5. But 1, 1 and 2, 2 don't make 10. But if the pattern continues, then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that'd be 4 plus 5 plus 1 plus 2, which also doesn't equal 10. And likewise, 6 is not 1 plus 3. One, 3, 5 don't appear to have much relation to one another. Okay, well, I took a picture of this, I think. It's somewhere in my notebook. Yeah, so I can come back to that later. Which I think I'm going to have to. What's this thing for? Oh, it's like a, it's a stamper thingy used to make, Rivenese numerals. It's kind of difficult to see, but I think that's one of those radial shapes. How then do they make the dot, I wonder? Maybe that's on the other side of this thing. Be nice if I could see it. I guess it's not important. And what does this show us? A headless man? There we go. I pledge allegiance to the Gen of the United States of America. The question of undersea transport remains unsolved, which is troubling. That looks like a bridge that's controlled from that altar thing that we need to take the bathysphere to get to, or whatever the local equivalent of the bathysphere is. But what is the local equivalent of the bathysphere? That is the question. Ah, and there's a drawbridge here that I also can't get to. I mean, were I free to move like, a human would, I could probably climb around to get to the other side of it. But never mind. Have I been down there before? No, there's another drawbridge at the. I can see it. There's another drawbridge there. Okay. I'm trying to look for something in the water that I can get to, because there's got to be something. I don't know. I don't know. Some sort of a hose coming down from that special looking hut. That is connected to this tree. I wonder what that's about. Trying to imagine what it would be like raising kids in this environment. Seems like an awful lot of them would fall to their deaths. Scared those guys off. Anything over here? Here's a mirror. A mirror that I can move. And walk with. Oh. So I can keep this. Well, that's interesting. And it lets me see this invisible paint. Well, that's something. Okay. Progress is being made. That just looks like a smear. But maybe this is key to the totem puzzle. Somehow. And the paint clearly comes from these moths that are apparently capable of hovering in space. And I'm clearly capable of clipping through. Well, that's interesting. Okay, I can't get through here. Okay, well, glad that I decided to inspect that. Possibly I should look at other places where the moiety daggers are to see if there are clues hidden by this invisible paint stuff. Anyway, I was headed in this direction. If there were clues for how to get to Moiety Land scattered around Riven, they would be on this island, because this is the only island that the villagers have access to. Yeah, the moths are definitely where that paint comes from. That's cool. Were there any moiety daggers around here? Hey, Shy Guy. Yes, I'm back, and doing well. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing well as well. I am in for some hopefully riveting gameplay, as Bronco put it. We are making progress. We have discovered this magnifying glass thing, which apparently allows you to see, basically stuff painted in invisible ink. Which, if I know anything about a puzzle game, is going to be crucial. So this is Riven from League of Legends getting a puzzle game? No, this is Myst 2, or Myst 2 3/4, or something like that. The original game was released in 1997, and this remake came out this year. And it is interesting among remakes that it is not just a one-to-one remake of the original game. It keeps the environment and many of the details of the original game, but changes just about all of the puzzles around. Which is pretty cool, honestly, because Riven is my favorite game from the Myst series, and I, like everybody else, have wished at times that I was able to sort of erase the memory of a game from my memory so that I could play it anew. And I guess this is sort of a granting of that wish, in a sense. Of course, now I'm wishing that I knew all the answers, but so it goes. Ooh, hello. So this drawing was in the original game. Basically, the big guy is Gen feeding infidels or whatever to the warks. But it's interesting that it's painted in invisible ink. I wonder why that would be. Why they would need to hide that. Of course, now that I have this invisible ink lens, I kind of have to whip it out everywhere. To make sure that I'm not missing something. I am missing something somewhere that is key to getting around the village. And it's annoying me. In the original game, there was a sort of a bathysphere type of thing, a big metal sphere that you could drop into the water and then ride around, which seems like a sort of an arcane way to get around, but in a universe where they prefer elevators to stairs, they obviously prefer submarines to boats. That sort of follows, I think. I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of at a loss at this point. I mean, looking around for more invisible ink on other islands might be a way forward, and I think it's the only way forward that I'm aware of in terms of avenues that I've left unexplored so far. So, yeah. So let's get to another island. Let's see if Gen's little laboratory has any invisible ink in it. Another of our trademark Myst roller coasters. Oh, I should have had it. I should have had the lens out while I was riding. Just in case. Well, at least there's no invisible ink in the latter part of it. Any invisible ink on the boiler? So the wheel is still turning that I pumped up before, although it seems to have slowed down. Ooh, I bet that's not supposed to clip through that. Yep. That looks like one of the totems that that was in the original game. The animals. I mean, I'm sure not by accident. Okay, so the only thing in Gen's laboratory that glows is that is the obvious. So does this take me to that path that crashed into the ocean, or somewhere else? Yep, that is where it takes me. Now, what if I go back to Temple Island? I don't think I've been back to Temple Island recently. Question, I suppose, is how do I get back to Temple Island? Because the usual way would be to go across that path, but that path is no longer with us. So that's not an option. I don't think I put the bridge across, so I don't think I can take the Starfisher to get there. So that means going back to Jungle Island and taking the Maglev, which is probably what I should do. once again. When I was in Gen's survey room, I was able to look through a camera and see Temple Island, the Temple Island cage that I linked into. And there was a guy there. So I'm sort of wondering if it's possible to get there now. Because it seems like the sort of thing that the game might want to block off from me, because, then you don't have to implement interactions with people. But I don't know. This is another one of those totems. Ah, and it has an eyepiece on it. And yeah, that looks like the native numeral system. Or like a digit of the native numeral system. But I'm not sure what it's supposed to be set to, and I'm not sure what number it's supposed to correspond to. So that's not much good to me right now. So what are you? I don't think I played with that before. What does it do? It makes the water briefly still. Some of these rocks glow. Okay, interesting. Ah, okay. Another one of these totems. With rotatable things on them. Oh. Oh. There's an ink smear that I can line up. That's interesting. Okay. Were there ink smears on the others? So what do I do with this? I guess I should draw that and put it in. Okay, so this is water cave. Near Maglev. And maybe when I know what number that is, that will be significant. Okay, and I took a screenshot just in case. Now I want to go back to one of the other totems and see if it's got an ink mark on it as well. There was one just up here, wasn't there? Yeah. Yep. Okay. So that's cut down forest. I have a feeling that there's going to be 5 of these things, because there's always 5 of everything. So let's see if I can locate the others. Is there one in here that I missed? That's cool and menacing. Oops. Tashtari's sense of direction strikes again. There wasn't one around here, was there? No. There was one, like, at the opposite end of the village. So that's gonna involve taking the long route. Or who knows, maybe there are only 3 because the villagers think that 3 is important. Just like the Dunny think that 5 is important. I don't know what I think of putting all of this emphasis on particular numbers. It seems like an odd way to construct a civilization. Good way to construct a game, though. So we'll certainly give the Miller brothers that. Yep, and another. Okay, so this is... by Lone Tree, which is a town of some kind in Colorado. Okay, drawbridge that we can't. Bylon tree. What is Bylon tree? Is that some kind of depraved sex act? Sir, we caught this man committing an act of bilontry with a parking meter. It can be. Well, that's a relief. Anyway, before I got distracted by these invisible paint markings, we were going to make our way back to Temple Island, which we do by going this way. As Picard says, I will make it so. I would say Pixar it didn't happen, but that sounds risky. Anyway, Picard doesn't make it so. He tells other people to make it so. He has people to make it so for him. Okay, no secret markings here. Trying to remember what I did around here. Ah, okay. So there's a book here that we have to figure out how to power somehow. We've got fire marbles lit from 3 out of 5. Ah, okay. So maybe that's what I'm doing when I'm shooting the fire marble laser into the thingy. That makes sense, because we've done that on 3 of them. We've done that on Crater Island, Survey Island, and Jungle Island. So that should be vertical bar, horizontal bar, and partially open slitted eye, which I can't really see. But I will assume that that is correct. For want of anything. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, I can sort of see it now. Okay, so we need to do that also on... Was Riven considered eerie or unsettling at time of release? Probably a little bit. I'm not sure if it's more or less unsettling to have it be the sort of point-and-click walking sim thing where you see, like, just frames rather than being full motion. Or to do what this is doing. can't see a symbol there. I can't see a symbol there either. Okay, so this is the jungle island symbol. Oh, okay. This is a way that I can tell which symbol is which without having to go there. I mean, without having to squint at the little tubes there. This is the one that's going to be difficult to get to because this is Prison Island. This symbolizes Prison Island, which is the one that in the original game you can't get to until you have already gotten to Gen's Private Age. So I'm not sure how that's meant to work. That looks like a yawning chasm in the middle of the ocean. That's a little bit weird. And then this is this island. Yeah, Temple Island. Okay. Which we haven't lit up yet, so that should be our next task. Somehow. Probably not this way. Is that something we get to via the gate room? Or is the gate room on this level? I don't know. Let's walk around and find out. This is where we saw the walkway collapse into the ocean. That was kind of funny. It's like, oh, you thought this was going to be like the original Riven, did you? No, 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 no. I suspect that it doesn't matter where I have this switch set. The breathing in the background of this area is definitely a bit on the unsettling side. So in that way, I can claim that I have some kind of connection to Halloween. Alright, let's try rotating the gate room and see where that gets us. You found the tone uneasy because of how empty, quiet, still everything was, but you don't know if that was just a product of the time and people would have considered it normal. Yeah, no, I think that it probably was considered somewhat, what's the word? Canopsy-ish. Back in its time. I mean, Myst certainly was. There was very much. I remember when playing Myst that there was a definite feeling of like somebody was gonna jump out at you at any moment. That this blue page was going to make Akinar jump out and grab at your throat or something. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we are. It was a gate room door. That's convenient. The textures are pretty impressive, I have to say. All this rusty metal. I mean, Riven was certainly graphically impressive. Riven 97, that is, was certainly graphically impressive back in its day. I mean, just by virtue of, how realistic and worn in everything looked, as opposed to Myst, where everything seemed a lot more pristine. Probably because, they were using really low resolution textures, and that was all they could achieve. And it took them 3 hours to render a single 3D image on the machines of the time. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, so this has been rolled out already, and I can't roll it back because somebody has taken the wheel off of it. That's awfully convenient. Now the marble launcher. Right, we have to call this thing first. Okay. Now that we've done that. Okay, a thing has happened. And we can't move that, which again means something has taken place permanently. Is Prison Island's ramp already extended, maybe? Well, one way to find out. So Prison Island's symbol is vertical eye slit with a dot in the middle. Is that what that is? Or is that Jungle Island? Is that... Did I succeed? I think I might have succeeded. Hey. What do you know? Okay, so that's the dome. Up here must be the marble launcher. Load. Lock. Fire. Ooh, I got some music. I must have done something. I think I better save, actually. Oh, I can't save here, I forgot. So I should be able to go see Catherine now. Right? I feel like I'm doing things all out of order. You're supposed to have to talk to Gen first before you can talk to Catherine. Come on. There we go. Well, this is cool. Okay, we are on Prison Island, confirmed. Well, let's see what happens. Ah, nothing. Huh. Okay, well that's actually sort of a relief. We can't go see Catherine. Because we don't have the code to even get into her prison, let alone unlock it and let her out. But what we can do we can go back to Temple Island. And oh, that's where the thing is. We can go to the Temple Island, and we can. The book that we saw there should now be powered, so we should be able to go say hello to Gen. I did not expect to make this much progress today. There we go. I could stand for this part of the game to go a little bit faster, to be honest. Okay, now to find my way back to Temple Island, which is a circle with a dot in the center. Okay. That wasn't so difficult. I assume that that flash is a graphical glitch, and not something within the game that is supposed to happen. Come on, come on. There we go. Oh, that's interesting. This doorway was open before, which means that somebody has rotated it in my absence. That's a little eerie. So this takes me here. It's a little weird that you have to get up so close to the big button in order to be able to push it. I actually thought that during my first session of playing this game that I was doing something wrong. Of course, I found out later that my mouse was all screwed up. Okay, I was wrong. We can't go see again. Even though all 5 marbles are active. Huh. Well, that kind of sucks. What else are we supposed to do? I got the special music and everything. The linking panel is sort of coruscating, to use a $10 word. But it's not there yet. Okay, well, now what? Does this bridge go up? I don't think it does. That's a Riven 97 thing. There would be a handle here that would make this go up, and then you could go back to the gate room and... But there's a walkway up there. How do we get to that? Is there a lever somewhere that I'm missing? So that panel is not a button. That's that is the symbol of Temple Island. How do we get up there? It's a little difficult to tell, but I think there's a switch there. So we have to be able to get up there somehow. There's also a walkway on the other side. Is that any more get-toable? Doubt it. Huh. Okay. That's really annoying. I was thinking we would get to talk again. And by talked again, I mean listened again, monologue. But nonetheless. Ah, been here before, haven't I? Well, at least there's still one throne. Oh? Does that have any purpose? Well, that just shuts the door. We don't want that. Does that perhaps lift another bridge as well? Well, it's not like I have any other leads to go on. Let's find out. Nope, that has not moved this bridge. I can see where I want to be, but I can't see how to get there. That's super frustrating. Alright, well, let's go back to that room and put the bridge back down, because I'm sure I'm going to bump against that if I don't. Doesn't this bridge look like it should lift from somewhere? Maybe I'm looking at the wrong end. It doesn't look very permanently affixed to either end. Okay, that's still stuck. my god, it's full of stars. So what do we do with this rusty old thing? Anything? Oh, we have a code mechanism. 3, 4, 2, 1, 10, 9, 8. Okay. Okay, well, we can't possibly know what that is. 10-digit code. That is a lot of digits. Maybe that's a preview of what happens when you open the Starfisher. Low in there. Okay, well, it doesn't look like there's anything we can do here right now. Been forgetting to whip out my invisible ink viewer. Alright, well, let's head back to Jungle Island. See if I can find out what I'm missing as far as the boat goes. In the absence of anything else that I can think of to do on Temple Island. We're on Jungle Island, so there should, if there are paint splatters anywhere, they should be around here. Hey, Maury, welcome. I have made a modest amount of progress in Riven today, and I'm fairly pleased with myself, though there were some proverbial doors opened that don't, or how do I want to put this? Things that I thought were going to be doors opened that weren't doors, or that weren't opened just yet. But that's okay. That means that there's another stream or two in this yet to go. The shark's mouth is still open. Awfully convenient. What does this button do? Oh, that probably calls the elevator if it's not already here. You haven't played Riven since it originally came out approximately forever ago. I have the solutions to like all the the original Riven puzzles burned into my brain from watching streams of it at this point. But the fact that this game has altogether new puzzles is makes it an enjoyable and sort of tabula rasa type experience. Like how, you know, you always wish that you could experience games for the first time again. That's sort of what I'm doing here, which is kind of cool. There we go. But at the same time, I'm like, what the hell? I already know how to play this game. How come these puzzles aren't the same? Is there any point into going into the Starfisher again? I can't think of one. But let's go anyway, just because there might be something that I missed. I guess this is sort of an airlock for the Starfisher, which explains why it takes so long to get set up. Though rusty iron doesn't exactly seem like the most insulating sort of material. Was this area in the original? No, this is entirely new. This is a, I mean, basically the domes in the original were just security devices. Well, no, not just security devices. They were half security devices for keeping the books from the moiety, and half powering devices to make the books work, because Gen sucks at life. But in this one, they seem to have been changed into, like, airlocks for the Starfisher. Like, the Starfisher is now a place that you can go into that has all of these different areas in it, in Riven. You're sort of going inside the planet, somehow. I don't quite understand how, but... Where's the bridge? It is kind of trippy. This is certainly a very original idea on the part of the remake makers. Is there another ladder down from here? Oh, there is. That's what I was missing. It looks like the center of Timber Hearth. Have I been to the center of Timber Hearth? I'm trying to remember. Like, I mean, that's where all the geysers come from, right? The ones that you use for speedrunning and such. Oh, right, where the 0G tutorial thing is, where you repair the satellite. Yes, I remember now. Just to make sure I'm not an idiot, there are 5 of these, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, just 5. I'm going to go back to the village and see if there's anything I can figure out as far as the boat goes, or the submersible, or whatever it might end up being. Because it feels like that has to be staring me in the face somewhere. Like, I don't feel like I am supposed to have figured out how to get all 5 of the fire marbles lit up before I figure out how to get to the moiety puzzle, whatever it is in this game. Come on. On the other hand, thinking of puzzle pieces that I haven't used yet, there is the whole thing about the values associated with each island, the ones that were on that sheet in Gen's laboratory. I haven't used that yet, and I haven't used the thing about how 9 is the base value of that makes the fire marbles glow. Maybe that's something that I need to bring into the puzzle back on Temple Island. I can't see anywhere to enter it though, is the thing. There's all this village that I can't get to because I can't figure out where the boat is. Or if there is a boat. Maybe there isn't a boat. Maybe I'm fooling myself. No, there has to be some way. There has to be some sort of water transportation that'll get me to the work gallows, because I was able to close the floor there, which is key to getting up to the holding cell up there, which is how you get to the moiety puzzle. Or at least it was in the original game. I feel like I have to suffix everything I say as with, or at least it was in the original game. So many things are the same and yet different that it's really hard to know what translates and what doesn't. Which is good. I mean, you wouldn't want it to be too similar. And in fact, I think that Richard van der Wende, the producer of the original Riven, was only, or not producer, director of the original Riven, made it a condition of coming back to the project that he would only do it if it was not going to be a straight remake. That they got to sort of reinvent parts of it. Which they certainly have, and I'm enjoying it. So I think they've done a good job. I'm also, as I go around, trying to find any other totems that I may have missed on the village island. I don't think there are any. I think there are only 3. At least only 3 that I've seen. There may be more hidden behind those drawbridges. So close and yet so far. Unrelated to anything I've been talking about, I have had the Pocahontas soundtrack playing on a loop in my brain for like days now, and I do not know why. And then there's this thing. That's a pretty random soundtrack for my brain to come up with. It certainly is. I don't know where it came from. I haven't watched the movie recently, and I haven't listened to the soundtrack recently or anything like that. It's just sort of in there somewhere. Something about Trump going on about savages. Yeah, probably. Probably could tie that in with the remarks about Puerto Rico that happened recently. But of course, he doesn't know the guy. He didn't hear the remarks and, has nothing to do with it. He's not sorry, but he has nothing to do with it. Never mind that the entire script was vetted and other jokes were cut out. Yep. Totally unconnected to the person whose rally it was. So we have 3 of these numbers that came from the totems, thanks to the invisible ink glass. We have upper right, upper left, and then both upper right and upper left together. So one of those Actually, one of those we know. Two of those we know. One of them is 1, one of them is 3. The one in the cut down forest is 3. And the one by the lone tree is 1. But we do not know what the... Oh, yes, we do. That's there, too. That's 6. Wait a second. Was the one in Gen's lab, did that have a mark on it? Well, shit, now I have to go see. Can I do it before I end stream? Let's find out. Oop. If I were a bigger streamer, I would probably play the Run Lola Run soundtrack right now. Be a lot cooler if I had that soundtrack stuck on my head in a loop. One thing that has never quite made sense to me about Riven is how much energy goes into powering these, you know, resistive coils or whatever they are versus how much energy it takes to power a book. If he can get the energy to power a book out of a single fire marble, then how much energy must there be necessary to power that tunnel? And why is it that it seems like the book requires more energy? I don't know. It's very strange. Because he can keep those going all the time. But the book requires, you know, all the special waffle iron junk. Isn't the book like a trans-dimensional portal? I mean, yes. But at the same time, you can also power the book by means of, you know, what is apparently sort of a geode slice. At least, again, I have to qualify that by saying in the original Riven. I don't know. I'm probably trying to be pedantic about something that was, you know, that is in the "a wizard did it" department. Ta-tum. Okay, where was it? It was... Oh, the wheel has stopped spinning. That's interesting. Oh, here it was. Okay. Ah, yes, it does have a mark on it. Interesting. Okay. So that means that is, if that's the top, then that is up, left, and down. Okay, noted that down. Was that one of the ones in the, that was in my screenshot? Let's see. Yes, it was. Well, that's convenient. 5. If this keeps up, I may not even have to translate the numbers. Of course, that means that there are 4 of these, and possibly 5 if we get to the other part of the village. Yeah. So now where to go? All right, Brungo. See you very soon. Da-dum. Okay, I'm gonna call it there for today, and raid out and join Brungo. Thank you all for joining me so very much. I will probably be doing this at another day in the future, maybe Thursday. I don't want to commit to anything right now, but that is the plan, because too many people I know stream on Wednesday and Monday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday. So that is how I end up, that is how I chose my stream schedule of Tuesday, Thursday, and sometimes in the weekend. Anyway, thank you all again for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.